The Democratic Alliance has since formally laid criminal charges against uMkhonto Sizwe Party MP Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla for her alleged role in recruiting and trafficking of South African men into the Russian war effort in Ukraine. Let's discuss this now with DA Defense spokesperson Chris Hattingh. Mr. Hattingh, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. So given the DA's decision to lay those criminal charges against Zuma-Sambudla, talk to us about these specific legal statutes or the contraventions that you believe that she committed, especially in relation to human trafficking and conspiracy.
Well, we in-depth investigated the allegations against her based on the evidence that was provided to us. To lay charges against a member of parliament is not a decision that we take very lightly. And we have overwhelming evidence that she has transgressed at least the 1998 Assistance to Foreign Military Assistance Act. There's another act, 2006, Act on Mercenary Working Overseas, which has got mere severe penalties, 15-year imprisonment for doing what we believe that she has done. But that act was never signed off by her father, Jacob Zuma, while he was president. So what we believe at this stage, the act that's applicable is the 1990 Military Assistance Act. She has transgressed that, we believe, according to the evidence that we have. Then, obviously, there are possible further charges that could follow, and that is human trafficking. We believe that happened, as well as fraud, because these young men were definitely misled in the process getting there. Just on what was stated, Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla initially started a WhatsApp group with all these men on, called the JHB Russian team. And that name was then later changed by her to MK Russia Group. That is what we have. We have literally hundreds of WhatsApp messages, screenshots coming from out of Russia, out of now Ukraine, before the cell phones were taken away from these men, but also coming from family members. Obviously, family members are very, very concerned. One lady that is in communication with us say that she was informed that her son went missing on the 28th of August, and she hasn't heard of him since. And later she was told that he is late. So that's the desperate situation that the families found themselves in on this side.
So with the investigations, Mr. Hattingh, that you say you've conducted, and particularly with the WhatsApp groups that are seemingly what you have with regards to those links between herself and the 20 men that are in Russia, what do you think would be the key challenges in establishing a prosecutorial case, given the evidence that you've got?
No, we believe it's overwhelming, and it's strange that we walked out of the police station in Cape Town on Thursday morning, 11 o'clock, and just after 1, the MK announced that they've got a media conference the following day, and then they announced that Duduzile has resigned. So we believe that the overwhelming evidence that we have, the other charge that was laid, well as by a family member, the MK part is actually a family business, is internal strife. But then also the Hawks picked on that. So I think the pressure is overwhelming, and that led to the resignation of her. We obviously also lay charges at Parliament, at the Ethics Committee, which will now fall by the wayside. We have also asked for a joint standing committee meeting between the Portfolio Committee on Defence as well as the Portfolio Committee on DIRCO. We believe that DIRCO needs to answer to some issues, as well as the state security agents, as well as military intelligence. That process should continue.
You mentioned the resignation and how it coincided with the serious allegations of the recruitment and the trafficking. Do you think that with her resigning is an admission of guilt?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I think the pressure coming with that is overwhelming, and perhaps the MK realized in what precarious position they find themselves in at this stage, and I don't think she jumped. I think she pushed. She was pushed.
How might this case serve as a precedent for addressing other forms of transnational criminal activities, particularly those that are involving South Africans, especially in terms of legal cooperation with foreign governments such as Russia?
Well, there has actually been precedents for this type of situation. The Minister in the Presidency recently was very outspoken about possible South Africans being involved in Gaza, saying that they must be arrested when they put their foot on the ground in South Africa, and that was repeated by Naledi Pandor. So there's a strong position on this foreign involvement. Okay, we have to take into account that these young men were misled. They thought they were going for training. They were promised foreign citizenship in Russia or any other country that they would like to go to. So whether there's a strong case against 20 South Africans, if they were actually 22 that went over to were Botswana citizens, but the 20 South Africans, whether they were actually joining a foreign war, and that they're being misled, that's another issue. But the position of foreign military assistance, South Africa's position of mercenaries in foreign wars is very, very clear, and the government has been very outspoken about that.
Lastly, and very quickly, Mr. Hattingh, I mean, you speak about how many of these young men are misled into finding themselves in those situations. And of course, this raises questions about societal vulnerabilities, particularly those being socio-economic, educational, and just some community factors that would contribute to them being susceptible to be taken to such war zones.
Well, these young men, unemployed, very vulnerable, being promised education, being promised personal development, obviously are in a desperate situation. It is a very acceptable thing to do, to go for training. When anybody gets opportunities for training, specifically the unemployed youth in South Africa, they will fall for it. So, and they are very vulnerable on those grounds.
All right, Chris Hattingh, thank you so much for your time and joining us this morning. That was the DA Defence spokesperson, Chris Hattingh, speaking to us about the case that they have opened against Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla.